feel if you are in pain every day and could get no relief? Many people deal with chronic pain or sickness but feel hopeless because there is nothing to relieve their pain or solve their problems. What if there was a remedy though? What if medical marijuana could be the answer for many? All of us have been sick at one time or another, but how would you feel if you couldn't obtain the medicine that would alleviate your suffering? By the end of my presentation, I will prove why legalizing marijuana can be extremely helpful to those with chronic illnesses. Today I'm going to give examples of how medical marijuana has helped many in America and the pros and cons of it. Although in many states it is still illegal, medical marijuana has already helped a wide variety of chronic illnesses, and many have testified about the effectiveness of it through online blogs, news reports, etc. In 2013, Sandra Young wrote an article, "Marijuana Stops Child Severe Seizures," about a baby named Charlotte. At age 3, Charlotte began experiencing severe seizures. After multiple tests, the doctors finally concluded that Charlotte had Dravet syndrome, which is a very rare form of epilepsy that is seen in infants. Charlotte began taking 7 different drugs. Some of them were heavy-duty, addictive drugs. Her mother testifies that the medication was taking a toll. The drugs would work for a while, but the seizures would always come back. Her mother was at the point of giving up when she finally heard of medical marijuana, also called cannabis. Charlotte eventually lost her ability to talk, walk, and eat because she was having up to 300 grand mal seizures a week. But after starting the cannabis treatment, Charlotte was only having 2 to 3 seizures a month, and she could finally walk and talk properly. Charlotte isn't the only one who has been helped by medical marijuana. In an article titled 8 Miraculous Medical Marijuana Survival Stories, written by Jody Gamal in November 2013, multiple people share their experience with cannabis. One example is Shonda Vanda, who had suffered an intense case of Crohn's disease for 8 years. Shonda was completely bedridden and could only walk with a cane. It was when she was diagnosed as terminally ill that she started cannabis supplements. Those supplements, she claimed, saved her life, and now she's able to live a normal life, walking and even hiking. Cannabis does not only help terminal illness though, it can also help with chronic pain patients too. Kristen Courtney was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis at age 16, but it quickly turned into an autoimmune disease that left her bedridden. The pain was unbearable, but once she started juicing cannabis, she claims that all of her pain went away. Other testimonies have been recorded on a website called Minnesotians for Compassionate Care, and many share their experience of chronic illnesses and medical marijuana on the webpage titled Testimonies in Support of Medical Marijuana that was created in 2013. In his article, Testimony of Patrick McClellan, written by Patrick McClellan in 2013, he talks about his muscular dystrophy, which causes extremely painful muscle spasms. He explained that the muscle spasms would become so painful that he would not be able to walk, talk, or even eat. Although he says that medical marijuana, he says that the medicine he takes for emergency muscle spasms for 70% of the time, he claims that cannabis is 100% effective in relieving the pain. Now that I have given examples of how medical marijuana has helped many, I want to discuss the pros and cons of it. In the last decade, many doctors, researchers, and scientists have debated the pros and cons of medical marijuana. On the website Medical Marijuana Pro-Con, many of these doctors, researchers, and scientists share their thoughts in their articles. In 2004, Dr. Jocelyn Elders wrote an article titled Myths About Medical Marijuana, explaining the many uses of cannabis. She found that the medical marijuana can relieve the following symptoms: nausea, vomiting, cancer, multiple sclerosis, and even AIDS. She also states that marijuana is less toxic than many drugs that physicians prescribe every day. On the other hand, Dr. Sanjay Gupta shares a different opinion in his 2006 article, Why I Would Vote No on Marijuana. He believes that medical marijuana could affect short-term memory and that if smoked, it could cause lung problems. However, like many other doctors that are now recently changing their opinions, Dr. Gupta wrote in the article, Why I Changed My Mind on Weed, written in 2013, that he was wrong about his previous statement pertaining to medical marijuana because there was not enough evidence to prove that marijuana was harmful. There have been many arguments, though, about the harmful effects of smoking marijuana and the amount of THC involved. Marijuana does not have to be smoked, though. It can be taken in pill form, mixed into food, or even juiced. Most growers of marijuana report that they take out the THC of medical marijuana. However, THC has been shown that it can help patients gain weight, decrease anxiety, and even show slow development of some cancers. Dr. Kate Scannell writes in an article, Should Marijuana Be a Medical Option, in 2003, that she repeatedly saw how marijuana helped cancer and AIDS patients debilitating fatigue, restore appetite, diminish pain, help nausea and vomiting, and curtail extreme weight loss. She states in the same article, the federal obsession with a political agenda that keeps marijuana out of the hands of the sick and dying people is appalling and irrational. Medical marijuana has proven to be helpful time and time again. Although it does have its cons, it seems to be more beneficial than not. If we choose to legalize medical marijuana, I believe, and have given many examples, that multiple would benefit. To recap, I have given examples of those helped by medical marijuana and explained the pros and cons of it. Legalizing medical marijuana will be beneficial to many with chronic illnesses. If you or a loved one suffered with a chronic illness and the only resolution was marijuana, would you vote yes to legalizing it? Thank you. Thank you guys. Along with it.